This is Jamie Steinberg with Starry Constellation magazine. Amy, this is such an interesting character for you, and there's so many funny moments to this film. Was there harder to keep it together during specific scenes? I mean, Rainn's trying to be serious. Excuse me, Randy is trying to seriously teach you these moves, but you're with Rainn, you're with Lil Rel, you're with all these comedic geniuses. How are you able to keep it together?
Hi, Jamie. Nice to talk to you. You know, the first day my first day on set was not their first day on set. I think I came in maybe like 3 days into filming. So that in general is always a little intimidating, especially when you're working, like you said, with comedic geniuses. You're like, oh man, I hope that I can hold my own. But it's one of those things where you really just have to lock in and think to yourself, if I break or I laugh or I'm too nervous and am intimidated, then I'm not going to do a good job. So it's more so of like a focus exercise than anything else. But yeah, I had such a fun time working with them, and it's always a struggle to keep a straight face when you're working with these two for sure.
Rainn, is Randy disenchanted by all of the difficult patients he's had? Is it the years of physical and sort of mental wear on him that he's like, all right, I'm fully done at this point?
Well, burnout is very real for frontline workers,
Yes.
and mental health is very real. And one of the joys of doing this was really getting to know a bunch of EMS workers and frontline workers and hearing from them how much this movie captured the reality of the burnout. They're underpaid, they're disrespected, the hours are long, their lives are in danger. So um, most of them last at the job like 2 to 5 years, I think, is the average length of time for an EMT. And Randy's been at it for 18 years. So it hits on all levels.
There's so many comedic moments to this. My laugh tears were on constant watch. Every moment, Rainn, your dance skills are great, your life-saving skills are great, your comedic moments are great. Is there a particular scene though, Rainn, you're most proud of the work you put into for this?
Well, um, there's a really moving scene with a young kid that
Mm.
gets hit in the heart with a baseball. And by the way, the stories out of this screenplay are absolutely true, written by Patrick Pianezza, who was a real life EMT and drew on a lot of his experiences. They're not necessarily exactly how they happened to him, but um, I really loved um, how difficult those moments were, and how EMTs have kind of a moral quandary with everyone that comes in the back of the ambulance. You know, how much to tell them, how much to withhold, and uh, how much to encourage and how much to keep up those boundaries of professionalism. So that it was nice to have some scenes like that thrown in with the comedic scenes as well.
I was gonna ask Amy how you shook off a long day of having to be in this emotional roller coaster of a career.
Well, it's funny because I actually had such a great time doing it, and I didn't feel like it was anything I needed to shake off. And that's a testament to Rainn and Rel and Chris, our director, because we did keep, I think, a pretty light set. And so it was a pleasure to go to work, and when I came home, I actually felt really good. And I think Rainn talked about this a little bit, where we got to meet EMS workers, and we actually did a ride along with the I don't know if it's called the fire truck or like ladder, whatever, in South Central Los Angeles, and a lot of the fire department workers start off as EMS and paramedics, and so they're all, more than capable of doing all of the work, including fighting fires. And we spent like 10 hours with them, and it was exhilarating. I mean, I can imagine that doing it for more than one day is probably, just a lot, but it's a day I'll never forget. And that was just one day in their life, just one day in their shift.
Rainn, you're known for your comedic abilities. Did Christopher or Patrick give you much rein to improv at all during this?
Yeah, there was a ton of improvisation throughout, and a lot of that gets cut out, but it's still it's always fun to see lines that you came up with on the fly, make it in the movie or in the trailer. And it's kind of what Rel and I bring as actors too. So, and Aimee too, by the way, I will say, did some great
She holds
improvs
her
and just
own.
rolled with it. Whatever we threw at her, she rolled and brought her own, particular genius as well. So yeah, you want it to feel fresh and real, and you want the lines to not sound like lines, but to sound like just real people in real life or spontaneously having thoughts and giving them voice. So, improvisation is super important for a movie like this.
And Jamie, I always say that comedic actors actually are the most gifted dramatic actors, I find, because in order to be funny, whatever that means, there's always like so much truth running underneath anything. That's what makes it relatable. That's why we laugh. And so I found that to be true of Rainn and Rel as well. You know, when they got the opportunities to really dig into the dramatic moments, you're just like, of course you're brilliant at this too, because you kind of have to be. There's an old saying in theater, which is dying is easy and comedy is hard. And I do find that to be very true.
Amy, what do you hope lingers in with people that watch Code 3? Is it respect for our frontline people? Is it to give them more of a mental health check-in for people who have such significant jobs that save lives?
I think the message is pay them more than minimum wage, treat them with respect, but also give them the leeway to deal with the burnout because it is such an intense job. And when we have people that are literally saving our lives and coming to us in a moment of just pure vulnerability and are able to stay calm and walk us through those moments, that certainly deserves more than what we're giving them at the moment.
Cuisine is Persian cuisine, and I highly recommend Fesanjun. Is a kind of a stew with walnut and pomegranate.
Goodness, that sounds delicious.
It's amazing.
Well, your work continues to impress time and time again. Your comedic skills are just incredible, Rain. And Amy, you certainly hold your own with this film as well. So thank you both so much for your time.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you so much.